Hello friends and true believers, welcome back to the Red Cup Review. On today's episode, we're obviously going to focus on X-Men, the animated series busts, Wolverine and Cyclops. Now, they're older busts, and in the thumbnail, we had a little tag, right, that said, should you even bother collecting these busts? Well, if you're a fan of the X-Men, the animated series, the short answer is yes. I believe that Diamond is the only place on the market to get any type of X-Men, the animated series collectible, so that's pretty exciting. They're very nice. They're very reminiscent of the old Bowen busts that came out by Marvel. Remember Bowen did those Marvel busts? They're right around the same size as that, and they kind of remind me of those. They're very nice. Are they mind-blowing? Not really. That's like their premier statue collectibles that Diamond Select does, right? Those are the really expensive ones. But for entry-level collectibles, especially if you want to have the whole X-Men cast, let's say you just love X-Men the animated series, and I mean, at this point, who wouldn't? It's one of the best cartoons ever produced. Superhero-wise, that is, right? So you said for like a little X-Men placard, you can have the whole cast around there. I think they just announced, I think Rogue just came out, Deadpool just came out, I believe. They have a Gambit coming out this month. I believe in 2 months, in August, they have a Sabretooth coming out. He's going to be even a little bit bigger, a little bit more up in price, but a little bit bigger. So right around the price range that these are offered at, I believe that the paint jobs and the sculpts are pretty awesome. I happen to be more particular, to Cyclops because he's my favorite X-Men, and I also think that they did an excellent job with the cell shading on him in particular. Wolverine is good. Cyclops, I believe, is even a little bit better. But you'll be able to get the whole cast, right? So at an affordable price point, you want to have a dope display, and you could put it together, right? So if you guys are even interested in these, there's a link down below in the description, Entertainment Earth. You can pick up yours or go to any other website. But if you want to help the channel, that's where you got to go. Drop a like, comment, subscription. Let's get on with it. Very briefly, we're going to take a look at Wolverine, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's pretty cool, right? Hunched over, looks just like he does on the animated series, right? The sculpt is just fine. The pectoral muscles and ab muscles and all that other good stuff is very well sculpted, as are the ears. He doesn't look wacky. He looks like he fits in. And the base is pretty much got like that Danger Room type thing going on. I believe all the X-Men busts have this base in particular. Now, even though he's supposed to be cel-shaded, I wouldn't mind in particular paying a little bit more of a premium on these things, even though they're supposed to be pretty much affordable, for a better paint job. And by better, I don't mean just straighter lines. I do mean a better cel shading, use of colors. I'll pay another $50 to have a superbly make it look like it's right out of the animated series. I want to look like I have an animation cell sitting on my desk. And I wouldn't mind paying a premium on that if that's the case. Now, as far as the actual paint on him goes, we're going to go supreme up close here. The lines aren't too bad, right? Pretty well done. The choice of blues is pretty good, right? But it's a little messy up near his mouth. Look at his mouth, right? Look at the mouth area. Look at the lines coming out of the nose and under the chin. It's almost like it's not as straight as they are on the rest of the outfit, or his arms. I'm just stuttering all over the place. Or on the back, actually, right? It's weird. Like the big thick lines coming down the back, the stripes on his back could have been a little bit straighter. The stripes on the side are pretty good. On the back, the cell shading is actually at its best. I love the fact they use like this black wash on the back, even though you really don't see it that much. But I love that it's like not just yellow. It's like yellow with a little bit of black in there to highlight the muscles, which is cool. It's a little bit like that on the abs. See that? That's not just natural shading. I mean, that's natural. That's shading. That's not just the natural light. See how it's a little bit sloppy? Let me get my thumb out of the way there. See that on the lower abs there? And the same issue on the face. Now, you're not going to notice it when it's up on the shelf. When it's like that far away and blurry, you're not going to notice it. Looks great. Looks fine just like that. I like how they even gave the little yellow above there for I guess the underwear line. That kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I thought that was pretty cool. The lines on the belt are pretty crisp as far as the X goes, but again, on the face and above the top of his head too, they could have been a little bit straighter. You could see if you just focus right above the furrow in his eye line, you could see that the paint isn't as crisp as it should be, line-wise. But there's really no bleed from one color to the next, so that's got to count for something. And the claws are pretty dope. And the lines in his hands and under his biceps are all pretty good. Moving along to the next bust, at the 3-minute mark in this segment of the video, we're taking a look at Cyclops. And I think Cyclops was done exceptionally well. I started out with Wolverine first because that's kind of like everybody's favorite X-Men. Not mine, though. My favorite X-Men is Cyclops. I'm just going to focus right on this for a second. I love the cell shading on his torso, the arms. Everywhere where it's blue on Cyclops, they did an excellent, excellent job. I think it looks, for the price point, that's pretty dope in my opinion. I'm sorry. The belt on Cyclops could have been better painted. That's a little bit sloppy work inside the belt there. I'm trying to be as critical as possible. The X emblem on his chest is pretty good, though. The lines separating the different parts of his outfit could have been a little bit straighter, a little bit neater, just a little bit more crisp. The sculpt is there, though. And I absolutely love the way the blue looks, though. All right, I'm going to try to point out everything that I love. And let's look at that. The actual, depending on where your light source is coming from, it looks really, really good. I'm trying to be as... I don't know. I had somebody get on my ass recently for not being critical enough with these things. But again, I'm trying to take into consideration these are entry-level pieces and for the price point. The paint could have been a little bit tighter around his ear. Again, from that far away, he's going to look great. I think he looks dope like that. I think that just looks really awesome. Great, iconic, heroic pose. It works. Works for me, at least. When you get a little bit up closer, though, you start noticing some of the imperfections. Now, the line work around his lips could have used a little bit more work, but the line work under his chin and where his nose is okay. Around the hair, it's pretty good. The hair sculpt is good. I like that little half-blast kind of shiny thing coming out of the eye. I think that's pretty cool. It adds a little bit of, as if he's whipping around, right? Right? And that thing's kind of trailing out of his optic visor there. The paint lines around his fists are fine. Again, it could have been a little bit straighter. Yeah, you see he has an imperfection. The line work didn't go straight through there. I guess all these nits could add up if you're a perfectionist collector. But again, you want premium pieces, you got to pay premium prices. And I think that just looks dope. And the two of them look great together, too. Look at that. They look really cool. And I'm sure if you had more of the team filled out, it would... specifically because of the colors they use. On this channel, I'm a big proponent of having things pop off the shelves, and nothing's going to pop more than an animation piece, because those are the most colorful pieces usually you would have in your collection. And if you had the whole X-Men team together, they're going to look great, right? Look at that. Hey, Psych, what's that over there? And then they're ready for battle, right? Very cool. And that's it, right? I told you we're going to be brief with the review here. Colors on him are better. Sculpts are on point. How many cups are we going to give these things? I don't know. I think that, for my own personal taste, because they're the only ones on the market and because I really like this one, I'm going to give them a 3 out of 5, right? But if I had to be super, super critical, I'm going to give them a 2 out of 5. Okay, so 2 out of 5 cups if I'm being, super ultra critical. And if because I just like them, and I especially like this one, I'm giving them 3 out of 5, which is pretty good, pretty on par for this channel, right? We don't give out 5s all that much. There you have it. Closing and final thoughts. These statues are pretty great, but not mind-blowing, right? Here is something that I really and particularly love. They're the Legends in 3D half-scale busts. I really like these things. Okay, lock me up, throw away the key. I think these are dope. This is just to show you guys the size comparison, right? So you have Cyclops and Wolverine from the tip of his claws, top of Cyclops' head. They're 6 inches tall, right? Batman over here is a 12-inch bust, okay? So 12-inch bust, 6 inches. They're small, but what makes them cool and unique, besides the fact that they're the only company doing this, is the fact that you can get a whole cast for not that expensive. These things run in the $40 to $120 range, and that's for the really, I don't even know if it is going to be that much. The Sabretooth, and Sabretooth's going to be massive, not massive for this size. Okay, follow me here. So you got my thoughts on them on the reviews. Should you get them? Well, I got the perfect start to my collection right here. I know they're older pieces. You've probably seen a million reviews of them already so far, but there's more of these things coming out, so I think this is pretty relevant right now to get a fresh take on these things. They got some weight to them too. They're not mad heavy, but they got a little bit of weight, and they're limited to 3,000 pieces a piece, which isn't super limited. You should still be able to get your hands on a couple of these, but they're not like hollow inside. These are definitely solid pieces. You know, this doesn't feel like it's going to just well, look, if it hits the floor, it's going to break. Any of these things will. But it's not like you're just going to be able to grab it and just crush it in your hand, okay? It's not like ceramic. It's resin. Anyways, thanks for watching the channel. Remember to subscribe. Join me here on a future episode. Thanks to Diamond Select for allowing us to review these two little fellas right here. And I hate it when they do this because it's going to force me to want to go and now get the other characters because I absolutely love X-Men the Animated Series. Link down below if you want some Red Cup merch. Look at how dope that thing is there, right? Look, we'll catch you on a future episode. Thanks for tuning in. We got a live show that we do semi-weekly. Just, you got to hit the bell to let us know when you do the live show, all right? It's uncut, raw, and uncensored. We do not do action figure or statue commercials on this channel. This is the Red Cup Review. Take it easy.